question of the week, I asked the ladies.
Well, bring it back real quick. What we're going to be doing is...
So we're going to try and ask you guys a question of the week every week, just to interact with you, see how you guys feel, read some of the answers out on the podcast. We'll give you our kind of feedback on the question and, see how you guys like it, how we enjoy it. So the question of the week I posed to the ladies, I asked them, would they marry a man who could not afford to get them an engagement ring?
Yikes.
Guys, I heard part of this conversation yesterday. It was fucking hilarious.
It was hysterical. The ladies gave me great answers. I appreciate, everybody participating. It was really good. I actually ran a poll on Twitter, and you'll be surprised. So the answers came out kind of, I asked, the question, ladies, would you marry a man if he couldn't afford a ring? The answers were yes, absolutely not, marriage, what's that, or maybe.
Marriage, what's that?
Option number 3 is lit.
Got 12%.
Option number 3 is lit.
But actually, yes and absolutely not were both equal at 41%. And then there was 6% for maybe. So guys, there is some hope for you, I guess, from some women if you can't afford a ring. Let me give you my
Good
thoughts
luck.
on
Here
this.
we go, guys. Here we go. Buckle up.
It's not that bad. Listen, I want to start off with saying, first of all, when we discuss this topic, y'all have to stop calling women gold diggers because most of you don't even have gold.
What the fuck did I do that called?
I'm
I'll say it in a
speaking in a
minute.
very general.
I'm extremely middle class.
Are you triggered?
I got mad defensive right there.
Are you triggered? Are you triggered?
I got mad defensive right there.
Do I need to put you on the couch? Would you like to talk about it, sir?
My bad.
Fuck. Okay? So y'all have to stop accusing women of being gold diggers because most of y'all don't have any gold to dig. It's not the case, okay?
Here she go.
Got a point?
Thank you. I'll talk about it, okay? So my stance on this is, and it's not from a shallow point because it's really not about the ring for me. It's about the fact of you telling me you can't afford to save up for something. Like, it's about, it would be different if you said, like, oh, Bianca, I would rather put the money towards a down payment on a house. Or
right.
I would rather, different things. Because depending on how long you're in the relationship, some people are together 5 years, some people are together 2 years. You're telling me in no time span could you save up to afford a ring? And I'm not talking like Kobe Bryant, I cheated Vanessa Bryant's ring, okay? I'm not talking like big ball and diamond ring. Like,
Man, Kobe was begging like shit for that ring, boy.
I'm not even talking like Cardi B ring. Like, I'm talking like, we're middle class people. We work
Head
very
down to the
hard.
mall, hit up K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K, so,
Maybe a little bit better than Kate Jewelers, but...
See, this is where look. Beggars can't be choosers, my nigga.
I'm not begging.
I'm not talking about you. Oh, now you getting defensive.
Here we go.
Who's getting defensive?
That's right. Stick your chest out, Bianca. That's right. Stick your chest out, my nigga. I ain't begging for shit, my nigga.
Hold up.
Do you need to lay on the couch and talk about it?
I just might, bitch. I just might, okay? But, so, I'm talking like a suitable ring for, what you and your partner kind of bring to the table. You know what I mean? If you're middle class or whatever. It is, because the thing is, I think that people have this illusion of what marriage is. I think that people feel like...
It begins with the ring, too. But continue.
But I think it begins before that, because when you fall in love with somebody, everything is like butterflies and happiness and the honeymoon period, and then you date and things, kind of wind down, but you're still happy. But marriage is not about necessarily being in love and getting happy and all that. Marriage is really a business arrangement.
It's a business.
You're talking about combining your assets. You're talking about combining your finances. You're talking about different tax brackets.
Listen, if you're getting married for love, you're getting married for the wrong fucking reason.
But you have to consider it when most marriages fail for financial reasons. You have to look at it differently. And I think that's why a lot of marriages fail, is because people go into it thinking like, oh, we're so in love. But honey, you can't eat off love. You can't, you know what I mean? We can't grow off
love
just
ain't
Love ain't paying them bills.
paying the bills, baby.
We
gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta get it together. We're not. And for me, I've been poor. I was raised by a single mother. Like, I'm not doing that again. I'm working as hard as physically possible right now to drag myself out of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going back. You telling me you can't afford to save up for a ring tells me we don't have no business talking about marriage right now. I'm not saying I'm gonna leave you. We can build towards that. But nah. Like why are we talking about marriage if you can't afford a ring?
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Not necessarily
But
like, oh, let's get a
one-
house first,
one
we'll
would-
get a ring later.
One
Like,
would argue that a ring is just a materialistic thing.
and okay, yes, it is, but it's also about what it stands for. Again, because it's not necessarily the ring. Like if you said like, let's hold off on the ring, let's put a down payment on a house or a condo or whatever. That's one thing. But if you're telling me I can't afford it, can't afford is the problem. Can't afford is the issue, not necessarily the ring. You can't afford to get any ring?
All right, let me ask you this. See, this is where the shit.
No, come on.
This is where the
let's
shit
come with
cross. Like it kind of it sounds weird because all right, what if he can afford the ring and he just says, "Yo, I can afford it. I just don't. I think it's stupid. I think buying you a ring is stupid, but I want to marry you." How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's him disregarding my feelings if I want the ring. That's not, you can't just say, I don't want to buy you a ring, but I want to marry you. Well, I want the ring. And especially for me, because I figure like in my relationship, in our marriage, if we were to get married, like there's not many expensive things I would ever ask for from my husband, from my boyfriend. Like I like to take care of myself in most aspects. If there's something real pricey or whatever, most times I'll get it myself.
Yeah.
I don't really want a big wedding. Like I'm not into all of that. Like for me, the ring is like I want to rock. I want us to get a nice home and just, we want to travel and do all that shit. Like so for me the ring is a big deal because I'm choosing that pretty much over going into a big wedding.
That's vacation money, yo. That ring is vacation money. Look.
No, the wedding is vacation money.
Look, bae. Oh, all right, that's the second vacation money.
Bye. But so, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it is a big deal. So if you say, well, I just don't want to get you one, like, what is that?
Or not me, but I think it's stupid. I think spending money on a ring is stupid.
All right, well, spending money on your Xbox is stupid. Now, where do we go
All right,
from
I'll buy
there?
my own Xbox.
Now, you can
Like, you know what I'm
say
saying?
whatever
Like,
you want to
get married.
stupid, but you got to
Right.
take your girl's feelings
I'm
into
just-
consideration. You can't always say, yo, I'm not buying you a ring. This
Here
shit
we
is,
go, talking about feelings again.
this shit is retarded. I'm not buying you a ring.
Yes.
And then you sleeping on the
can't.
couch and y'all are sleeping back to back. Y'all both mad at each other.
So the woman's feelings mean more than the man's feelings, basically.
You ain't got
if
nothing.
you
Stop
wanna-
front, nigga.
I think it's absurd
I'm
to
playing
say you
devil's
want to marry
devil's
somebody,
advocate here. I'm married. I bought her a ring, so
Right. Yes, you did. A very beautiful ring at
but
that.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. All right. I'm trying to look at it from the other side.
And I want you to, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not fair to just say I'm not getting you one. You can't just do that.
Listen, do you want to marry
Especially
me or
if
not?
she
yo?
wants one. That's not.
You sound like Martin the first time you post, will you
Because here's the
marry
thing.
me? Damn, Gina.
Throughout your marriage, you're going to make so many compromises for each other. That's what marriage is. And if you're starting off that early compromising on something that means something to her, you know what I mean? Because a lot
Why
of times,
can't she compromise?
okay, that's a huge compromise for a lot of
Why?
women because
Because society puts those.
It's not even about society. How many people in society are going to see her fucking ring? It's about her. It's about looking down
It's
at
about
your hand
flying
every
for the
day.
grams, putting their fucking hand on the steering wheel.
This nigga sound like Oswald from In Living Color.
Riding to work today. Look at
Look, you just
y'all
it's
see it
not
every
about-
day, man. Come on, they do it for the gram.
They do it for the gram, and the gram has only been around how many years? And what were they doing before the gram?
Nah, they
Tell
did it for
me.
the gram. They did it
Tell
for
me.
They did it for the stunt
Go
for their family.
fuck yourself.
Why? That's the second time you told me to do that shit today, man. No.
Because-
Pornhub is not going to be on my browser today, okay? I
You're
promise.
being
Yikes.
ignorant.
Yikes. You went straight to Pornhub, huh?
Like,
Okay.
come on, dog.
All right.
Come on. So that's my issue with it is you saying can't afford. Like you're telling me you can't save up $2,000 over a course of a couple, how many years, whatever, and get me just a ring. Not a huge ring, whatever, a ring that you can afford. You're telling me you can't afford any
But
ring.
I just said
that's a
K
problem.
Jewelers, and you said, oh, maybe not K Jewelers.
But that's for me
You
and
know how
my
particular
life.
Bianca is.
I'm talking about me.
She gonna be in the store like, here's how I want it.
Yeah.
Don't give me some shit off some other bitch's finger that you filed down the inscription on now. We're not doing none of that, my nigga.
Luckily, my boyfriend knows better. But
From experience, I'm the type I like to research things before I
Right.
buy. So when I
Yo, you definitely were.
Yeah.
Going through deep dive research on fucking diamonds.
I researched for like 4 months before I.
But you should because it's a representation of you.
And yeah, going down to K Jewelers, I wouldn't advise that. But if that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford at the same
Right.
time. You know what I mean? can't can't put a price on love. But
But my thing is marriage is expensive.
I can't believe I just said that.
Marriage is expensive. Living life is expensive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
rent prices in the tri-state area are astronomical.
That shit going up, nigga.
Connecticut's probably the cheapest state out of that, and a one bedroom here
And it
is encroaching
sucks.
on like 1,500.
And it's garbage. Don't live in Connecticut in the tri-state.
You know what I mean?
Just
like
leave.
life is expensive. So you telling me, I can't afford to save up a couple grand, like that's a red flag. Like, okay, then we need to continue building. And to
So you're fine with staying in that relationship?
yes, and we can build towards
All right.
that. I'm not saying like I'm gonna break up with you,
I could-
you broke ass nigga. I'm gonna say, okay,
Well, damn.
let's get to a place financially
Yeah, I get
together
it.
where we can afford
I
marriage.
could dig it.
You know what I
dig
mean?
it. Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna get married and be broke, like. Because that's gonna break up a marriage. You know what I mean? Like you guys
definitely
just
is.
recently got married. How many business decisions did that require?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Y'all built a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like
That's some shit. You have to come together. You have to lay it all on the table. Like,
It's all
here's my
business
wants.
decisions.
Here's what we got. Put our two
Bills
salaries together.
Yes.
Yo, this is what we got.
Yep.
You all right with this? Am I all right with that? This is how we would pay it.
Yes.
This is how it. Yeah, you gotta.
It's a lot of business stuff, and it sometimes it
Yeah.
takes precedence over the
Yeah.
butterflies and the love and the, you know what I mean? Like
Love, if you getting married solely for love, man, you're doing it wrong.
you're gonna have a real
Yeah,
rough
you-
time.
you gonna be a poor
you know what I'm
motherfucker.
saying?
That's what you're gonna be.
You're gonna have a real rough time,
You
and
can be
I'm not.
broken in love. Where that gonna get you in life?
I could be broke single. You know what I mean? Like
So
I'm
get you a
not.
script to a great movie if you know how to finesse it. That's about it.
You know what I mean? So that's my feelings on it. Is I'm not trying to be poor. I've been poor. I'm dragging myself
Yeah.
out of that. I don't work full time and go to school full time because I'm trying to make bare minimum money. You know
I
what
pay
I
these
mean?
student loans back.
Nigga, what?
Exactly, and that's
Nigga,
another
what?
thing about marriage is
What
is
if he
taking-
said, "Yo, I'll pay your student loan. I'll pay your student loans, but I'm not buying you a ring"? What would you say?
we could get married next Thursday.
We get married tomorrow, goddammit.
Listen here.
Meet me at the altar.
She done adjusted the piece of my paperwork. You ready? You ready, my nigga? Let's go. You bullshit. I'm ready now.
But like it's all of those things. It's a combination of all of those things. And I mean, you're talking about signing documents and all that. Like why do all of that? Why take on each other's debts and form that kind of business relationship that's going to be a contract that you have to pay to get out of if you can't afford it? Why go
Yeah.
through all
Yep.
that when you can just be partners and build towards something? And so one of the girls that commented was one of my best friends, Liz. Shout out to her. And her comment was basically, very similar. She was like, a man who can afford to buy a ring should not be worried about marriage, but instead focused on building himself. And I completely agree. Like, if you can't afford a ring and she wants one, now if she doesn't want one and she's okay with that, then by all means,
Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
you have to do what works for your relationship. But if she does want one, then it's not you know what I mean? Like, maybe you shouldn't be thinking about marriage right now. And maybe you need to be thinking about your career and bettering yourself.
Gotta get yourself right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deanna says, the ring is a symbol of marriage. That doesn't technically mean you can't be married. So yes, I would. Rings wouldn't. Yeah, I'm trying to read this, but it has, the eyes. The eyes been fucking up on the iPhone all week. So
Damn sure have.
I don't want y'all to think I can't read. I just can't read.
I've been looking at tweets mad confused.
I just can't
all
read
week,
a
my nigga.
question mark in a box.
Right.
I would. Rings are materialistic. As long as I spend my life with them, I'd do it. And then Kayla says, yes, a person shouldn't not marry a person based on material object. However, most women want that big shiny ring to flaunt. Like, it's easy for both of them to say as well because they both have rings.
I'm about to say
Right.
They're both fucking engaged and
They're both
married. Get the
married,
fuck out of here,
yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
I love you both, but fuck out of here. Y'all already got it.
But it's true. And so Liz, my best friend, she's engaged as well. She's got a beautiful rock.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and now she's been in her relationship for 10 years, but she says in the comment, I have permission to speak on. But
I just found out, we kind of neighbors too. Liz, what up?
yes, shout out to them.
Shout out to Liz and Alan.
But again, they've been making business decisions. They just got a condo. They're saving up for a house. Now they're saving up for their marriage. But it's 10 years in the process. They've got my godson who's a grown ass adult at this point. It just
Yep.
freaks me
He's
out.
in my stepson's class.
Yes.
That's
So
crazy.
you know what I mean? But it's been business decisions for them, and they've worked very hard to get to the point where he
Got
could
it,
afford
man.
to give her the kind of ring that she deserved.
And that's a problem too. Sometimes people want to rush into the shit.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah,
yo,
definitely.
Get your shit together. There ain't no rush. I mean, that's a whole nother thing we can get into too. Like,
Absolutely.
but-
Oh,
Yeah.
she got into this. She derailed at dinner on this.
Oh yes.
She
So
derailed, my
I'm
nigga.
is marriage really that important?
To some people it is, to some people it isn't. To me, for me personally, it's never been the ultimate goal. Like, I could be happy just being in a relationship. I don't have to be married because it's never been like my end all be all to be married or to have children. Like, I have other goals. You know, my ultimate goal is to be a doctor, and I'm kind of working towards that. You know what I mean? I really want to be a doctor of psychology, so that really takes up most of my focus. Would I love to be married?
Keeping your last name if you become a doctor? Or?
We are not getting into this right now.
The real tough questions.
We're not getting into this right now.
We'll get into that on another. Maybe I'll bring my wife down too because she kind of went through the same thing. We'll get into that another podcast.
Yes, because I did talk to Ab about it.
Yeah.
I ran it by him. He was like, "Well, what if you hyphenate and whatever?"
Yeah, all right. We'll get into that's another podcast. Maybe all right.
We'll bring Kayla down and discuss it. But so you know, it's never been the end all be all for me. I think it's a plus. I think I would only do it if it adds to my life. Like, you know, the relationship that we're in now, we've absolutely discussed it, and it's something that I see as being very more prominent in my life now than I really ever have. Like, I would absolutely love to marry, you know, the man that I'm with now, but it's never been something that I was like dreaming about since a little girl. I don't have like my white dress picked out already. That's just never been me. But for a lot of women,
that should
you know
kind of
what I mean?
set us up false hopes too. That's where, you know,
It
people get married for love, and it's like, yo, it's bigger than that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of pressure.
People stay in abusive relationships for love, so love ain't end all be all.
Goddamn short.
Yes. So, you know, but for some people it is, you know what I mean? And especially for women, a lot of women dream from the time they're little girls, you know, watching Cinderella, they dream of their wedding day. You know what I mean? Like, how many women do you know have their Pinterest boards filled out and their wedding's already mapped out? They get the ring and by the next week
they got their whole wedding
done.
planned. They don't even got a man.
Listen, it happens.
They got everything planned for their wedding except for who they're marrying.
Sometimes it be like that, okay?
It be like that.
But so, yeah, I mean, I think again, it comes down to considering who you're with. You know what I mean? If you're with somebody who's dreamed of marriage their whole life, it's probably going to be a very prominent issue. It really just depends. But so that's why I'm saying, like, especially as a man, you can't just say, well, I'm not getting your ring. That's fucking stupid. It might not be to her. You know what I mean? And you have to really gauge that.
I get it. I mean, not to dive too personal.
Right.
But it's crazy because when you're younger, you got that false mindset, that stupid mindset, like, oh, I'm gonna be married by 25. I'm gonna have a
25,
house.
the magic
I'm gonna
number.
Have only thing I did at 25 was lose my hair. So I can't.
Nigga went bald at 25.
The only part about life at 25 that went right is that I had my 2 degrees. Everything else was fucking wrong.
So it's like I don't know who gave us these false views of life. I don't know if it was Disney. I don't know.
Because we all have it. Everybody goes through it.
But it's rough because when you get older and you realize, yo, this shit ain't what I thought it was gonna be. Yo.
Not
adulthood
at all.
And once you learn to accept that, being an adult becomes much more fun.
Yes.
But you got to get past that, but
it's
anyway,
hard. That's a hard.
So I did want to get married when I was younger, and then, you know, after dealing with a few relationships, seeing what relationships were like, I said, fuck this, yo.
Absolutely.
Fuck this. It's not even that serious. And then, this happened, and we were at the point where,
this
first
being
of all,
your marriage?
my marriage, yeah, it is, whatever the fuck this shit is. No. No, I'm joking. But first of all, I advise anyone who's thinking about marrying the person, please live with them before y'all get married.
I agree.
That's a
Please
fact.
live with them
Agree.
before y'all get married.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla and I, we were the first 8 months of us living together. We were ready to break up, dog. I'm not even gonna lie. We were ready to break up. We were fighting all the fucking time.
I remember.
It's hard. It's hard living with somebody.
It's like a silent war in your house
hard.
before that.
It's hard living with somebody. It's hard. I'm sure women it's hard living with a man because they're just like, nah, whatever. And women are like,
it's really hard living with anybody because everybody kind of lives. We all have our different quirks, and you know what I mean. Like, I'm a night owl. A lot of times I'm up at 1 a.m. washing dishes. Like, you know, it's different.
I usually don't get home from work till 1 a.m.
It's really different.
It's hard living with a fucking roommate who pays half the bills. It's got to be even worse living with somebody you think you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you're sitting in the house. Do I really like this motherfucker? That's something I think about right now. Do I really like him?
So we were on some like, let's wait. I can't wait till this lease is up type shit. That's what we,
leaving your ass.
I can't wait to get the fuck away from you.
Something changed in there, or whatever, and then it became like, yo, like I don't really care to get married. But if that's what you want, I'm not against it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's what you want. Like, marriage is whatever. It don't mean as much to me as it means to you. Here we go with the compromise shit.
Yes.
It don't mean as much to me as it means to you, but I know I want to be with you. I know I don't want to break up. So if I don't want to break up with you, all right, let's do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's sit down and make a business decision and be like, yo, here's where everything is. This is what we're gonna do.
Absolutely.
And that's where it came down to me, because I didn't care too much about the whole marriage part. Whatever she did.
Yeah.
Maybe Disney set her up for that shit. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a victim to Disney. But
Blame the mouse. Blame the mouse.
fucking Cinderella. But and that's what basically what it came down to for me, whether I was proposing or not. I'm like, this is what she wants. You know,
Right.
It's either kind of like, you know, I didn't feel pressure to, because she was talking about it for a minute. I'm like, listen, I wouldn't unless I feel like I want to.
Right.
So after a while, I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what she wants. I'm cool with it. I'm
Yeah.
cool with it now. Like, I'm not doing this for her. I'm doing this because I'm cool with it. All right, this is what
Tell
she
the
wants.
truth.
I want to be
He was
with you.
looking around like, I'm not leaving her. So I'm not
really-
dealing with the single shit no more.
Yo, dog, and I hate people. Dating
I
is
hate
trash.
people.
Approaching women is trash. Like, all of it, you take all of that in consideration. It's like, do I want to fucking do this shit? No, man. I just want to go home. I already have somebody there. You know what I mean? And
So
for
romantic.
Men,
No,
but for
but
men,
it's
that's
true,
what it comes
true.
down to. Like,
Yeah.
yo, we don't. Men get there at different ages in life. Some men don't get there till they're 45, and they're like,
Yeah.
yo, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this. Me, it happened at, you know, what was I, 28, 29? It's
Yeah.
like, all right, yo, like, I don't want to. People are trash. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you about how your day was going. I don't want to
Guys,
do all that shit.
Evan's a special case.
Yeah, he really
We've seen
is.
Evan hide from people behind doors and
Yeah,
shit. You know
I
what I'm
mean-
saying?
I don't like small talk, yo. Small talk is trash.
I understand it, but you know, marriage is a lot of, are we going to compromise? Are we going to accommodate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
So
it is.
can I accommodate you? Can we compromise? Am I gonna avoid?
Figure it out.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's
we can
really
come to an
conflict
agreement, yeah.
resolution for your whole
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
You know, so I just think it's more business than anything. Even in my relationship now, we're talking about moving in together, and it's business questions it's business questions back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Before we
yeah.
even. You know,
How
we're
do you-
talking
how do you
about
feel about
bills and
this? How do
money.
you feel about this? Is this-
Can
yeah,
we
yeah.
afford that? You
and
know,
then when y'all moving together,
then
y'all
it's
be
gonna
like,
get even more.
it's gonna be hard, yo. That shit's gonna
Yeah.
be hard.
I mean, I've lived with people before. I've lived
Yeah, but
with
it's
men before.
different.
It's-
I have
it's
too.
Just so
It was an overrated
It's different.
experience.
Yeah, but when you were like, yeah, you should.
just
that don't count. You're a whole adult now.
But I mean,
Yeah, no, I
even
know.
just like roommates and all that
Yeah,
stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
But
it's
it's
hard to
different.
combine two lives.
It's different
difficult.
when because you're combining the two lives, and it's not just your roommate. It's someone that you're sleeping in bed with every night. So everything kind of matters.
They're saying
Like,
if you
yeah,
have an apartment
roommate-
with your married roommate, you can close the goddamn door.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
a totally
yeah.
different story now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Absolutely.
don't put that nigga to the couch, man. Don't make him sleep on the couch. That would be
Nah,
some
I
bad
don't
shit.
believe in
Women, don't do
displacing
that
people.
shit.
I don't
do
believe
that
in
shit.
displacing
Y'all
people
do
from
that
their
shit. Y'all
beds.
trash.
Sleeping back to back, that uncomfortable.
Yeah. Just sleep back.
'Cause
sleep
listen,
back
I'm
to
not
back,
leaving my
yo.
bed, so I don't
sleep
expect
back
you
to back.
to.
This is both our beds.
Yeah,
All right?
no, that's rude.
If he wants to sleep on the couch, all right, cool. Let him sleep on the couch. But don't you don't lock the door out on that nigga. Fuck you.